Hello, and welcome to Event Planning 101 presented by the Stockton Entertainment Team. My name is Kate, and I am the current president of SET. So to get started, a little bit about who we are. We are the Stockton Entertainment Team, and we are the main programming board at Stockton. We are a club by students for the students, so any events that you can think of on campus, we want to make happen. Our events range from social DIY events such as paint nights. We have food bars like our monthly Taco Tuesday. We have cultural events. This year we have the Washington, D.C. bus trip coming up. We do collaborations with all sorts of clubs on campus. We do off-campus events in the fall semester. A few of our popular ones are the Broadway trip, not Washington, D.C., the New York City bus trip and Six Flags trip. And then we always have our annual Woodstockton concert. So here's a few examples of a flyer you can make for your event. Like I said, we do Taco Tuesdays, like the Let's Talk About It event. We've done Valentine's Day cards in the past. Everyone loves a good pizza party, so we'll do that a few times. And then we also have the New York City bus trip. So getting into the event planning process, step one is going to be to brainstorm. You want to ask yourself and your team a bunch of different questions to make sure you're making an event that will reach all the people necessary. So that's the first question you want to ask yourself is who are you trying to reach? This will go along with your mission statement, like Jeff said in the beginning of the sessions. You really want to make sure that the events you are planning are for the people in your mission. So for the Stockton Entertainment Team, it's going to be the most people on campus that we can reach possible. We want to get everyone included and involved on campus. Next, you want to ask yourself what the goal of this event is. If you're trying to have a food bar, it's to make sure to have food. If you want to do an off-campus trip, it's to make sure you get to the place off campus. It's really what is your event going to be about and what you want to bring to the campus. Next, you want to ask yourself, what do the students want to see on campus? If students aren't asking for a specific type of event, you might not get a good turnout. And if they're asking for something really specific, you might want to see if you can make it happen so that you get the most turnout possible. And then you also want to ask yourself if there are any holiday seasons or events happening that you should plan around. This is perfect for the winter time when you have Christmas and Hanukkah and Thanksgiving and all of those things coming up to maybe plan events such as that. You could also plan around the season. You don't want to have an ice cream bar outside in the dead of winter. Or if there's other events happening on campus that you should plan around, you don't want to be competing with another club or organization for your event. So you want to take a look at 25 Live and see what will be the best possible place and time for your event. Things to consider for your event is if the event is realistic. Going on a trip to Europe may not be super realistic for the budgets that you have in your club, but it's a good idea if you do have the budget for it. You want to ask yourself, will this reach as many students as possible? Like for SET, we want to reach all the students as possible, but for some hyper-specific clubs, you want to make sure you're reaching all of the people that are concerned in your mission for your event. Is there another option that would be more inclusive? We always want to make sure that all of our events are inclusive to anybody that wants to come out. How will the students benefit from the event? If it's a talk, if it's a lecture, if it's a concert to get people de-stressed, if it's food or something, you just want to make sure that you're benefiting the students always. What will make this event stand out to other students? What's your big flashy thing to draw people in? What's going to make people come? And that's the next thing to consider is will people actually come to this event? It might be a great idea for you and your few friends in the club that, yeah, you really want to see this happen, but is the majority of the student body in your mission statement willing to come to that event? And then again, are there other events happening? You never want to have conflicting events. And if there is an event that's similar to yours, you can always try to collab with those other clubs and organizations to make one big event and bring as many people together as possible. Step 2 in the event planning process is to turn your plan into an action. So who do we need to run the event? Are you going to need members of your club or organization? Are you going to need outside vendors? Do you need plant management for setup? Or do you need Chartwell's catering for food? Where will we have the event? Is it going to be an inside or outside event? Are you planning an inside location if it is outside in case of rain or snow or bad weather? Is the event going to be on campus, off campus, or online? Online was more specific during COVID, but this event is being planned online too. So you want to make sure that you're thinking of all possible plans. And then all spaces must be reserved on 25 Live. So make sure that you're always checking out 25 Live. It's going to be your best friend when planning an event. And then what do you need for the event? Do you need to make purchases? Do you need to make a food order? Do you need to make a flyer? These are all different things that are going to help you get your event out there and make sure you're having the best event possible. A pro tip from the Stockton Entertainment team is to plan far in advance. Giving yourself time to finalize the small details is essential when planning an event. The earlier you get things done, the better your event will run. Step 3 in the event planning process is to market your event. So you want to table and make flyers and post on social media. So for tabling, you might want to provide giveaways, drawing the students' attention in. What's going to make them want to come to your table? Do you have a prize wheel? Do you have some free food, free t-shirts? All different types of things will bring a student in, but you have to think of what does your mission statement and the people you're bringing into your event want. And then you always want to have updates on all upcoming events as well. So maybe they can't make the one you're specifically tabling for, but you want to let them know what's coming up for them to be able to make in the future. Next, you're going to want to make flyers, posting them everywhere, whether it's on social media, the TVs around campus, hanging flyers, handing them out, putting them under dorm room doors. Getting your flyer out there is what's going to make people know about your event. And then social media is one of the best tools that we have today. You can post your flyers ahead of time, posting them several times, having members of your club reposting them. Maybe some people who want to come to the event will repost them. Everyone is always sharing things on social media, and it's one of the best tools you have for marketing your event. Step 4 is timing out your event. You want to be sure that you have enough time for your event so that it runs the best that it can. So you want to set up early. For most events, you're going to want to set up about 30 minutes early, but if you're working with a vendor, it's making sure you have enough time based on what they need. Or if you're having a more complex event, making sure you have enough time for what you need. You always want to check the room setup when checking in with your vendor, and you want to make sure that it's the way that you requested it so that plant management can make any changes if needed. You want to pick up any food, and you want to organize any giveaways that you're going to have at your event. Next, you want to make sure you begin on time and follow a schedule. Being sure that everyone contributing to your event knows the schedule is super important. You want to make sure that you're having the best time for the people coming out to your event so that they want to see it more events by your club and to come out to more events. And then you want to be sure to clean up, trying to leave the space clean as it was when you entered, including wiping down all surfaces for germs. We know how important this became during COVID, and Stockton University is all of our home, and we want to make sure that we leave it as clean as when we came. The last step is going to be to reflect. Some questions to ask yourself and your team is, how did the event run? You want to see, you could do this in the form of an event assessment, and what can be done differently to have it run smoother for next time. There's always some details that can be ironed out. No event is going to run 100% perfect all of the time. So to just ask yourself what could be done differently next time is always a good thing to do. And then, did the students enjoy it? This is the main reason we have these events, is to have these students enjoy what they're coming out to. And a pro tip from the Stockton Entertainment team is that it's helpful for your future e-boards if you write down your assessments and store them in a shared Google Drive account. Some commonly used resources that you're going to have for your events is Osprey Hub, submitting purchase requests also on Osprey Hub, submitting the event on web calendars, student development, event services, and online tutorials. If you want to see more tutorials, there's that link right below. Thank you so much for coming to our talk, and we hope that you're now experts in event planning.